And we are here. Good evening, everybody. Man, let me get everything moving here. There we go. It's good to see everybody. I've got a question for you. Why, if you're starting a business, do you keep whining? Stop the whining and complaining and crying about what everybody else thinks. We spent an entire week on this, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more. We're going to get just a little bit off the subject tonight. And the reason we're going to do that is because I've had that question asked to me 57 times. What do you do if? So I'm going to ask you this question. What do you do if somebody doesn't like what you're doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs from all over the world, please make welcome the truth guy, Mr. Home-Based Business himself. The man of the hour, everyone's favorite, Kerry Miller.
And hello, and welcome back. And welcome back to our weekly wrap up. It's good to have everybody here. And, this has been a crazy day. And I had my whole show all planned, and kind of like we did a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago, I had to call an audible, and I started getting all these questions. And so I'm going to tell you a little story tonight, but you need to listen to what I'm saying. And I don't know how many of you caught the show last night, but we had Chloe Forbes Kindling on, and just an amazing show. And she talked about, you know, doing what you have to do to build your business. I mean, you've got to watch last night's podcast. It was amazing. And there was a common theme and thread in all the guests on our Spotlight Wednesday nights over the last 3 weeks. A common thread was their background, where they came from, and who supported them. And so go back to and listen to last night's Wednesday night Spotlight. Listen to the last week's Wednesday night Spotlight and the week before that Wednesday night Spotlight. You need to hear what these people have to say. These are real entrepreneurs, not wantpreneurs. Okay. They don't want to be in business. They are in business. They understand being in business. And you've got to quit whining and crying about what somebody else thinks. So, yes, I'm going to be on my soapbox tonight. I can promise you that. This is soapbox night. Okay. Because this podcast is called the Truth Guy Podcast. And tonight we're going to tell you the truth. And you got to listen to this. I'm in a group, or I was in a group. They actually kicked me out today. 347,000 members. And I truly believe that if you're going to be in a group, somebody's group, there's 347,000 members, that whoever's running that group and whatever guru, and I hate that word guru, but they're a guru and they're running this group, you should be helping the people with these questions. 347,000 people in a group, and people are asking these questions. What if? What do I do? How do I do this? Then somebody somewhere, whoever that group belongs to, and I know who it belongs to, and I'm not going to call out any names, but that person needs to take care of those people. If you've got 347,000 people depending on you, wanting to be a part of what you have, be a part of your ecosystem, be a part of who you are, then you've got to take care of those people. And this is what happened. I put a post out. There was all these questions. I said, oh, well, nobody answers these posts. These people just keep whining and crying, and nobody's helping to bring them down and be honest with them, And so I said, hey, it's a business. Treat it as a business. Don't worry about others. Build your business. And all these things I was going through. And sorry, I meant to turn off my phone, and it's not off, and it's driving me crazy. So let me do that real quick. And I turned off the other one. So quit listening to the noise. If you want to be successful, and I'm going to tell you straight up, if you want to be successful, you have to run your business like a business and pull your head out of your butt and quit running it like it's some part-time junkie job that you're just going to try to do. That's not a business. You're not an entrepreneur. You want to be an entrepreneur. You've got to focus. And the only way you're successful in this business, the only way you're able to make it in this business, the only way you're able to make any money as an entrepreneur is you've got to run it like a business. Otherwise, it's just a hobby. Hobby doesn't make money. Hobby barely pays for itself. You know, unless you're a master carpenter and you build little whatnots, and you go down and get you a little booth and you pay $1,000 a month for a booth, and you sell enough product to pay for that space. All right, and you're enjoying doing it. You go down on the weekends and you meet all these people, and it's really nice and it's really cool. And at the end of the year, you wind up making a few $100. That's not a business. A business is where you're making 6, 7, 8 figures, and you take yourself to a point where you're generating generational income, recurring income every month, building a business that actually makes you money. You've built a brand. You've put together something that's actually real and actually strong, and actually, maybe one day somebody comes by and says, "Hey, I'll give you 5x for your business. It's worth $5 million. I'll give you $25 million for it." And you sell it and you walk away and you go sit in the Bahamas the rest of your life. That's a business. That's an entrepreneur. That's what you do. First and foremost, don't be in love with your business. Be in love with the act of your business, what your business does for you. Don't fall in love with your business, because as soon as it doesn't work out, you're going to be brokenhearted. You're going to quit. You're going to walk away. You cannot walk away. Failure is just a learning experience to help you get to where you're going, and that's what you do. Without that, nothing else happens. I hope that this microphone, hang on just 1 second. I don't know what that noise is, but it sounds like somebody is shooting, and I'm scared. And hopefully they're not. Yes, this is going out. I forgot to check my microphone. I was getting kind of excited about what was happening, what was going on. So quit whining, quit crying, be the CEO, be the boss of your business, and do what you have to do to make it happen. That's the bottom line. Because without that, you're going to fail and you're going to quit and you're going to allow others to drive you away. So anyway, back to the story. So I'm in there talking to these people, and I said, okay, this is what you need to do. This is what I would do. And so people start communicating with me, and they start talking to me and saying, "Hey, Kerry, thank you so much for the information. Thank you for being truthful with us. Thank you for, helping give us direction." So I get a message from the admin of this group, 347,000 people. Instead of messaging me saying, "Hey, Kerry, thanks for helping these people, because we don't have time because we're too busy taking their money. Don't do it again." So I said, it's so many words, screw you, So I went in and I said, "Guys, if you want to talk about this, if you want to be open about this, if you want to be this, this to be something that's special for you, then hey, why don't you come to our podcast tonight? And we'll open it in a dialogue." And they kicked me out. And that's fine. I could care less, But you know what I feel sorry for? I feel sorry for those people who are putting their heart and soul into something, depending on this guru who probably doesn't know which side of the bed he wakes up on. Okay. And all he's doing is building this huge group, which is what they teach you to do, right? Build this huge group. That way you can strip them of all their money and they're never going to make a nickel. But you just keep telling them what to do or what you think they should do. And you tell them how many billions of dollars you make, and they can do the same thing, and they constantly fail. You always know that's happening when you go into a group and 99% of the conversation is what if. Well, what do I do if this happens? What am I supposed to do when this happens? What if this happens? Who's supposed to help me? Who am I supposed to turn to? Turn to yourself. It's your business. Until you take control, until you become a part, until you make yourself the CEO, the CFO, the OCOO, everything you are in your business, until you take control of that, you don't have a business. 5 things. You don't have a business. You have part of a dream, but obviously your dream isn't strong enough to take you to the place you need to go. Okay. You have a hobby that's not making you any money. I see people in businesses, drives me absolutely crazy. Drives me crazy. I see people who, every time I talk to them, they'll call me and say, Kerry, how do I do this? And I tell them what to do. And 6 months later, they're still not making any money and they're still doing the same thing. And 6 months later, they're still not making, but they're still in the same business. What in the world is wrong with people? It doesn't make sense to me. If it's not making you money and you're putting in effort, then it's probably the wrong business for you. Or it's not a viable company. And that's the decision you've got to analyze. We talked about analyzation. We've talked about building your business. We've talked about building your brand. And that's what you got to do. Those are the things you have to do. And if you do not do that, you're going to sink like a rock at the bottom of the ocean. And the reason I'm telling you that is because if you're a part of one of these 350,000 people, 347,000, let's not give them any more credit than what they deserve. 347,000 people in a group and nobody's helping you. What in the world are you wasting your time for? Because you're not building your business. You're hanging out around with a bunch of people that's doing nothing but whining, taking you down a path that's not going to make you successful. You have to stop that, and you have to stop that today. If you don't do anything else, if you don't get anything else away from this podcast, I hope you hear that. Quit wasting your time with people who will not, cannot, and do not direct you where you need to go. You're not going to be successful doing it because you are not in charge of your destiny. They are. You do not control your business. They do, because you're trying to allow them to make all the decisions for you. You have, Chloe used the word last night, scrappy. You've got to be scrappy. You've got to make it happen. You got to get down in the dirt and the grime, and you've got to come up dirty, and you've got to put in 120% every day, and you've got to make it happen. I talked about this the other night. Don't depend on anybody, because the minute you do, they're going to let you down. Learn from them. Learn from the mistakes. Take all the golden nuggets you can and put them in your bag and use the things that will help you. Everything else, if it doesn't help you, don't listen to it. If it doesn't take you the direction you need to go, then don't listen to it. Do what you have to do to be successful. I'm going to take a short break. I'm literally dripping sweat. I'm just so geared up right now. I'm going to take a short break. We'll be right back, and I'm going to grab a drink of water.
Thank you for being a part of the Truth Guy broadcast. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at KerryMillerTV. And of course, listen to the Truth Guy podcast on the go at thetruthguypodcast.com. And now welcome back your host, Mr. Home-Based Business himself, the Truth Guy, Kerry Miller.
Yes, that was so good. What are we talking about? Taking control. What are we talking about? Being in charge. What are we talking about? Doing the things that make you successful. If you're a part of something and they're feeding you a bunch of crap, you have to wake up one day and realize that this is not taking you anywhere. I've never taught anything or talked about anything that I have not been through myself. I've been face down in the dirt. I have failed over and over. I've created business plans that never got off the ground. I've whiteboarded it out. I've put it all together. I've spent $10, $15, $20, $30, $40,000, and bam, it goes away. You have got to make sure that you are not in that place. Because what happens is it sucks you dry. And it wears you down. And it makes you tired. Now, there's some great people out there who will give you great information, and they do have courses for you to buy. But when you buy their course, they don't abandon you. And I'll give you a prime example. This same group, and I'm very upset at this group because I know the people who run the group. Right after they kicked me out, I got an automated email from this group. Hey, if you want to listen to a free show that we put out the other day, but now we're going to charge you for it. We've got a free show that now we're going to charge you for. We'll give you the first 90 minutes for free, and if you want to buy it, you can buy it. Who does that? If I'm going to put a course together, I'm going to sell it to you. Nobody's going to see it first except the people that buy the course. I'm not going to give it to free to thousands of people and then turn around and say, hey, if you want this, you can buy it. Now, if I was standing on a stage and you came to see me speak and I was selling some tapes of my trainings in the back, that's a different story. Don't get in a group and be live and let everybody in the group see it and then take it away from them and then try to say, that drives me crazy. If you're going to build a course, build a course. You want to make a lot of money on the internet? Every one of you are an expert. Every one of you are comfortable in your space. You know about something. It may be changing the spark plugs in the car in the right way where you can teach people how to do that. You can sell that as a course. That's a billion-dollar industry. I make money on courses that I did in 2012. You know, I'll see a receipt come across in my card system, and it's from that course on mobile marketing since in 2012. I mean, what was that, 8 years ago? You know, and I still have people, and I don't even know how they back because I haven't marketed that course since probably late 2012, 2013. You want to make a lot of money on the internet, develop a good course and sell it. Now, there's nothing wrong with giving trials, and we can talk about that on another night. But if you're going to teach people how to build a business, teach them how to build a business and don't abandon it. I will tell you today, I will never, ever take these podcasts, bundle them up, and put them together as a training course and say, hey, if you want those, I know you watched them, you can buy the whole bundle. Go to KerryMillerTV and get them for free. That's what I come here for every night. I come here because I've been blessed and had the opportunity to teach you and share with you and work with you and help you. Now, if you want to start your own business and you want me to consult you, it's going to cost you. You know, I'll give you 30 minutes free, and then after that, I'm going to charge you $250 an hour. I'm extremely transparent about that. If you want to learn, that's what I do. You know, I have to eat too. You have to eat. You can't give everything away. That's what you're in business for. But quit whining about being in business. Quit tearing yourself down that what if. Guys, I tripped on the porch the other day. I had my flip-flops on, was walking. I've got some steep steps up to my front porch. Was walking up the porch, tripped, busted my knee, busted my face. You know what? I picked myself up, dusted myself off. I walked in the house and I went back to work. I could have said, oh my gosh, my knee's killing me. My forehead hurts, you know. What happened when you was a kid? You fell off the bike. You scuffed up your knees. Your mom put Mercurochrome on them to stop the bleeding and give it a little antibiotic. And you got back on your bike and you went back out. And after that first time around the block, it didn't hurt anymore. Business is the same way. The only way you stop the hurt is go around the block and make it happen. Hey, I want to thank everybody for being with us this week, man. What an amazing, amazing, amazing week this has been. And it's been a great week for business for me. It's been a great week for the podcast for me. It's been a great week for our shows. Things are really on the up and up, and I have you to thank for that. You know, I thank you so much for your loyalty. I thank you so much for your time. I thank you so much for everything you do. And I want you to know that because of that, I will always be here for you. Many of you message me in Messenger on Facebook. You send me emails. You send me text. I mean, my phone number is all over the internet. You send me text. I'm always here for you. That's what we do. We want you to succeed, and we're here to help you succeed. Everybody have a great night. God bless. I'll see you next Monday, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Take us out of here, Frankie.